call to order our school board meeting, 7 o'clock, November 14th, 2023. Declaration of a quorum, 7 members present. I'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome to this meeting of the College Station Independent School District Board of Trustees. We are elected at large to represent the interests of our community and our state in educating our students. Our mission for our students in this district is success each life, each day, each hour. We adhere to all pertinent laws, policies, and procedures in posting agendas and conducting our meetings. The detailed agenda information was made available to us at least 72 hours in advance. We've all come to this meeting informed and prepared. We've just completed a workshop meeting where we heard reports and discussed much of the information needed to make decisions in either this meeting or upcoming meetings. This is a meeting of the 7 trustees in a public setting rather than a public meeting. As such, public comment is included on the agenda at a specific time. Requires us to listen rather than take action so as to abide by the Open Meetings Act. We're pleased that you've taken the time this evening to join us. Very proud of this school district, and we thank you for your interest in and support of our students. I'll bring us to item C1, recognitions, Pledge of Allegiance. Who do we have from here? College Hills and Pebble Creek kiddos.
Good evening. My name is Blair Grande. I'm the very proud principal of Pebble Creek Elementary. I have 2 Panthers here who are going to introduce themselves, Gemma Sellers and Lane Valenzuela.
Can I just It's really high.
It's okay. It'll hear you. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Gemma, and I am in 4th grade at Pebble Creek Elementary. My favorite thing about Pebble Creek is it's awesome. I love to learn about science because I like to learn about the world, such as the depths of the ocean. I am thankful for trees because they gave us air, and for the summer trip my family took to Indonesia.
Good evening. My name is Lane. I am in 4th grade at Pebble Creek Elementary. My favorite thing at Pebble Creek is my teachers and all of the learning I have had since I started going to the school. I love to learn about math because it is fun to do multiplication and solve problems. I am thankful for baseball because it is fun to play and I make friends, and for the beach trip my dad took me on last summer.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Dittmar, the assistant principal at College Hills, and I have 2 Tiger Cubs with me today. This is Fallon Daly, she is in kindergarten, and Liz Morgan.
Hi, my name is Fallon Daly, and what I like about College Hills is learning Spanish. I am thankful for my sisters.
Hi, I'm Liz Morgan. My favorite thing about school is learning social studies. I am grateful for all the teachers who are super kind to me.
Please stand for the American pledge.
I pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for the Texas Pledge.
I pledge
allegiance to the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
It's time for the moment of silence.
You may begin.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Stand right there. Okay, very much.
Here we go. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
One more picture with the parents.
Keep small for your parents.
There we go.
There.
One more big one.
Yeah, you're fine. You want to have
Great job. Good job. Great job.
Dr. Harkrider, Mr. Horak, members of the board, and distinguished guests. It's my honor to recognize more students this month that have excelled on college entrance exams. Along with our National Merit semifinalists and commended students, 29 CSISD students have been designated as College Board National Recognition Program Scholars based on academic achievements and outstanding performance on the PSAT and/or AP exams. These students are recognized in the categories of National African American Scholar, National Hispanic Scholar, and National Indigenous Scholar. The College Board National Recognition Program creates pathways to college for underrepresented students by awarding them academic honors and connecting them with universities across the country. Students, when I call your name, please come forward and receive your certificate and be recognized by the board. Jasmine Barron. Briseda Bellon. Andrew Benavides. Nicholas Castillo. Joaquin Costa. Jennifer Quadrilaco. Mateo Dominguez. Ava Elgard. Prosperity Ezanuna. Jacob Felipe. Leonardo Garcia. Gavin Gutierrez. Madeline Knoop. Mackenzie Leonard. Haley Lewis. Sophia Mackin-Planke. Ashley McGuire. Beckham McGuire. Lane McGuire. Alexandra McPherson. Jada Mitchell. Joseph Perez. Matthew Rivas. Margarita Rivera. Michael Thompson. Giancarlo Valadares. Born Walichowski. Domino Williams. Brandon Yax Argueta.
I'm back. We have some teachers at Pebble Creek I would like to recognize. I wrote some stuff down because I really didn't want to forget the things I wanted to say about these ladies. So Courtney Payne, first grade teacher, come on up. And Jenna Ramos, third grade teacher, come up. You get to stand by me while I talk about you. Okay, so I'll start with Courtney. Courtney Payne is a first grade teacher. She's a team leader, a DEIC representative, and a district curriculum writer. When I was thinking about what to say about Courtney, it came real easily. She loves working with children. She finds ways to help them be successful in her classroom, often requiring her to think about instructional strategies in a different way to meet their needs. And you do that all the time, so thank you. And Jenna Ramos, third grade teacher, campus social studies lead, and district curriculum writer. Jenna takes any new idea. She loves to learn, finds new ways to implement those ideas into her classroom, seeks to understand benefits that will help students, and works to increase their student achievement daily. Thank you for all you do for our kids. And then because there was some stuff that was very applicable to both of them, I wrote another little bit because I just love these ladies so much. So I wanted to say both of these ladies love their students deeply and they put in extra time and effort to ensure they learn, understand their strengths and love who they are as people. Educating the whole child is their goal, and it shows when you walk into their classrooms and see them interacting with students in our school. They are team players who seek to understand others and encourage their teammates to find common ground in doing what's best for kids always. And that is the perfect thing. We could not ask for anything better from our staff and from our teachers in our district and in our school. So thank you for loving children and always doing what's best for them. Thank you.
So I have the awesome opportunity to recognize two of our teachers from College Hills. When Mrs. Allen told me a couple days ago, hey, guess what? I'm going to be out of town. You're going to go to the board meeting. This was an area that I was not going to shy away from because recognizing these two ladies is a privilege. So Kaylee Ferris and Shivaya Lewis, will you please join me up here? So I took some notes because collecting my thoughts with what we appreciate about both of these ladies is super important. So Ms. Ferris, I'm gonna start with you. Ms. Ferris teaches kindergarten at College Hills, which as I think we all know is no easy feat in itself. Ms. Ferris is a great example of leading with your heart. She approaches every situation with positive intent. She has a strong growth mindset and is always willing to try something new. She is intentional about building relationships with her students and colleagues and strives every day to do what's best for her students and continues to hold them to high standards. Thank you, Ms. Ferris. So I have known Shivai for a couple of years now, but have had the privilege to work with her rather closely this year. She serves as our English Language Arts and Social Studies instructional coach. She is always willing to take on difficult tasks. She is very purposeful in her approach in leading and coaching teachers. She is extremely passionate about her role and works hard every day to meet the high expectations that Ms. Allen and I put on her. She is very positive and dedicated to the growth of all of our teachers. I can tell you from experience that not a day goes by where Miss Allen and I do not have daily conversations about these two ladies and the huge impact that they have on our students and staff on a daily basis. So I am super proud to recognize both of them in front of you today. Thank you.
All right, we'd also like to recognize the artwork at the back of the boardroom from the College Hills Elementary School and Pebble Creek Elementary School kiddos. So make sure you check those out, see what wonderful artists we have throughout our district. That'll bring us to item D, D1, board reports. Who'd like to go first?
I can go first. I can talk about PAC, personnel. Oh, wait a second. You want me to wait? Oh, wait. Yeah. Give him a minute.
Administrators, I think we have some seats up front if you'd like to come on up. Go ahead, Geraldine.
Okay. Personnel Advisory Committee met last week before last. And I'll just go through the concerns that we talked about. We talked through. I'll just list them. We talked about the substitute shortage and recruitment efforts. Compensation, retention stipends, paraprofessional pay, teacher pay, leave upon retirement, paraprofessionals providing sub-coverage, librarian staffing, academic calendar, technology, and then we also just went over the concern process that PAC goes through. So it was quite a lot of information that we went over, and I think it was well received. And they're meeting again in March.
I'll do DEIC. Mr. Decker and I attended last week, and really the things that we covered there, we're all getting to hear about today. Earlier at the workshop, we heard about the calendar update, which was a big part of our DEIC meeting. And so we're making plans to hopefully have that all approved and released by January. So if you want more details on the process, you can listen to the workshop. And then the other thing we'll also see on our agenda here tonight is the approval, the DEIC, or the recommendation from DEIC of a couple of new middle school and high school courses that then we will look at tonight. That was it, I think.
Myself, Ms. McAdams, Dr. Harkrider, and Mr. Ross were able to attend the Intergovernmental Committee meeting yesterday at lunch, and it was really kind of two parts to it. The first was dealing with a lot of the TxDOT projects that are ongoing, and as you can expect, they're expensive and they are very time-consuming. But it was quite interesting. But in some ways it was nice to see other government entities that are dealing with the inflation issues and so forth that the school district is too. The most exciting part of it, though, was Mr. Ross and his counterpart from BISD gave an update on the CTE programs in both school districts, and got a lot of positive feedback from the other members of that particular committee from the county, the cities, and so forth. So it's a good meeting.
I was hoping you were going to say the most exciting part was no more medians. Head Start Policy Council did not meet November, but they will meet virtually December 12th. Love virtual meetings. Thank you. I know you're hiding there.
Education Foundation. So Thursday is a grant patrol. We'll be giving out 73 grants totaling $325,000. So that'll be a fun day. The Education Foundation also hit a milestone. Over 25 years, they have awarded $2.5 million in grants. And we have our first ever endowment for teacher grants. Consol's counselor, Jill Faith, her parents donated $25,000, Tom and Laura Hafford, to establish that endowment.
Anything else? Dr. Harkrider, Superintendent update.
Yes, we talked about the 2023 bond election in workshop. Darren did mention the Education Foundation Grant Patrol, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be my first opportunity to participate. Still trying to wrap my head around giving away $325,000. That's absolutely incredible. And the amount of participation with their teachers and the appreciation that they have and the support of our community is really just something to be very, very proud of. This has been, I believe, 4 months that I've been on the job. This has been the fastest fall ever in my entire life. I cannot believe it is the middle of November. It's been a great 4 months. Next week, Monday and Tuesday, are comp days for staff. We've got the Thanksgiving break that I think everybody is excited for about a couple of reasons. We've had a great first semester. I think everybody's a little bit tired and worn out to get that recuperation and come back for four weeks before Christmas. We've got a lot of great things taking place across our district, across our campuses, and just thrilled about the future and looking forward to a great 2024.
All right, that'll bring us to item E, hearing of citizens. I believe we have one. Yep. During this time, public comments are welcome. The Open Meetings Act prevents us from responding to speakers regarding items not on the agenda. Comments related to items on the agenda may be discussed during deliberations on that specific agenda item. Please complete the note card and give it to the executive assistant. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Those needing an interpreter may have up to 6 minutes. Each person has one opportunity at the microphone, regardless of minutes used. Unused minutes may not be accrued by another speaker. The executive assistant will time the comments and alert the president when the time has expired. Board asks that those addressing the board refrain from any derogatory comments. And Mr. Rhodes is here. We're going to go right here. Yes, sir.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to you guys. Just kind of wanted to, well, first off, I might need an interpreter. Jeff might think that I might need an interpreter. So I just wanted to congratulate the school board on the passage of the bond that did pass. We wanted to congratulate you guys on that. We appreciate the additions to all the campuses and to the fine arts, and specifically those items that we'll be seeing. Also wanted to thank the board and the district for supporting our band students with new instruments, uniforms, and the resources to better instruct our kids. We also appreciate the financial and professional support of for both bands at the UIL state contest, which happened last weekend. Only 35 bands in our classification qualified to compete at state, and CSISD had both bands there. While at the area competition and the state contest, and in speaking with other band parents from other schools, it was apparent to us the discrepancy between CSISD bands versus other band programs that we compete against. While our campuses each have 2 full-time directors and a part-time color guard instructor on staff, other programs have 4 to 5 full-time directors and a full-time color guard staffer as well. I'd like to encourage the board to consider funds for additional staff to help to continue growth and success of the band programs and to prevent overloading our directors, as we're already seeing right now. I know at Consol specifically, the intention is to continue to grow the program, its culture, and its instruction to continue to compete for titles, and that takes more staff. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. That'll bring us to item F, consent agenda. Those items are item G. Oh. Okay. Yeah, bring it on up.
Thank you, and I apologize for not following protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Harkrider and esteemed members of the CSISD School Board, I would like to echo the previous gentleman in his comments about our experience at state. First, I'm Hayden Riley. I am the Vice President of the Band Boosters for CSHS. But I'm here tonight as a proud parent of not one, but 2 CSHS band members. So I'm in my 5th year of support. Firstly, my gratitude to the district's incredible support of CSHS Band, enabling 200 students and staff to participate in the state marching competition in San Antonio without financial strain on their families for being able to participate. Your commitment to the fine arts is evident, and we appreciate your presence at the games, the competitions, and the concerts that you're able to attend as well. I commend the directors John Seal, Michael Dixon, and Laura Nolan for their extraordinary dedication. Their investment has been crucial in building the foundation of our thriving band and guard program. However, I come to you as an advocate, again, like the gentleman before, for additional full-time staffing of the CSHS Band and Guard program, especially after our experiences at the state marching competition. So not to reiterate or mansplain another guy, so he's already mentioned that basically we ended up at the bottom third both times we went, and it was evident what the difference was between us and the other bands. With only 2 full-time directors for 200 students, which is 10% of the student population of CSHS. Safety, educational focus, and potential burnout of our directors become pressing issues. Comparatively, our other successful programs in the in our region, in our area, have a median of 4 full-time directors. Investing in additional staffing is not just supporting our directors, it's an investment in the safety, education, and future success of our students in the fine arts. We ask for your consideration and let us together ensure the continued excellence of the CSHS Band and Guard program. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any others? Okay. That'll bring us to item F, consent agenda. Those items are J3 through J7.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall, second by Dr. Payne. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. All right. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Brings us to item H1, consideration, discussion, and possible action related to new middle and high school course approvals for 24-25 school year. Ms. Parkerson.
Good evening, Mr. Horak, Dr. Harkrider, and members of the board. At the DIC meeting on November 8th last week, we approved 2 new middle school courses and 6 new high school courses for your consideration at tonight's meeting. The purpose of adding these courses is to expand the opportunities that we have for our students at the middle and high school level as we continue to strive toward actualizing our vision of each of our students being able to pursue their own unique success. And so the 2 proposed middle school courses are Theater 3, which is a semester course, Web Communications, which is a semester course. I'd like to quickly note that Web Communications is actually a replacement for our Cyber Citizenship course, which is one of our required courses in the district. There were some changes related to the CTE funding that was attached to that course. Web Communications is almost an exact replica with the TEKS, and we would be able to continue that funding. And so that's the only course in the list that we would go ahead and implement this school year. All others are for the 2024-25 school year. For the high school, we have a dance ensemble course, which is a full credit, 4 CTE classes, which include criminal investigations, a full credit, range ecology management and the accompanying lab for 2 credits, the agribusiness management and marketing with a lab for 2 credits, and digital communications in the 21st century for a credit. These will help us to streamline and expand our CTE programs of study and really are future focused with the growth and expansion of these programs as we are able to utilize the phase 1 of the CTE Center next school year. Additionally, we have 1 more course, which is classified as physical education, but it is technically an elective credit, but it is related to physical education, and that is team sports officiating, and we're really excited to add that as well. It's also a 1 credit course. I'm happy to expand on any of these courses should you have any questions.
So I counted 7 courses. Or am I off? And then my question is really, is that any net add to the number of instructors that will need to cover that addition of courses?
I may have gone too quickly. There are 8 courses, so I'm not sure which one
But yeah.
You mean, okay.
Oh, yeah. I was just, yeah. And then how many new teachers?
So as far as staffing for these courses, we are confident that we should be able to meet the needs of these courses within our current staffing model. For example, our theater teachers at the middle school have capacity to add that Theater 3 course. Web communications is just a trade out for an existing course as well. Another example of that, digital communications in the 21st century is actually replacing our commercial photography class and streamlining that program of study. And then as we've examined our staffing within our other programs, we believe we will be able to allocate the staff from within. It's just a matter of students choosing the different opportunities within those programs.
I move to approve as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Decker. Any further discussion or question?
Yeah, I just want to add from being on DIC, I mean, I thought there are a couple things in here very exciting. I mean, and one is the sports officiating, because you're going to put some of these kids to use to officiate, and that's a need not only in our district, but across the Brazos Valley, but also the two ag classes that would be out at the CTE Center, and I shouldn't just say ag classes, they're a lot more than that. Yes, that's a, one was the ag management, but also the ecology management. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to move for some students to be out on that new property, but also students from both high schools. They would actually be coming together in the same, taking the same courses together. So I thought that was really neat as well. So I just wanted to share that.
So I just want to brag on the teachers at middle school. I ended up being on this committee that got to hear this and be a part of the discussion. I think I was fourth string or something like that, but you know, whatever. I was able to go. And I was thoroughly impressed with our teachers. The discussion that they had at the middle school surrounding, you know, adding these courses, it wasn't just okay. I mean, they talked about it for probably 30 minutes, asked a lot of really good questions, you know, talked about pros and cons, and it showed me how much these teachers know their campus, know their kids, and just how much they care. It was just another level, another way for me to see how amazing our teachers are and how much they really consider everything that goes on in their schools. So it was a cool experience for me. Kudos to the teachers and fantastic discussion.
Thank you for that feedback.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. Brings us to item I1, receive a report on child nutrition services in College Station ISD.
Good evening, Mr. Horak, school board members, and Dr. Harkrider. I'm Bridget Goodlett, Director of Child Nutrition, and thank you for having me here tonight to give you an update on the Child Nutrition program. All right, tonight we're going to go over a description of our program. We're going to talk about staffing, the programs that we operate, and our budget, and then we will wrap things up with program challenges. Within our Child Nutrition office, we have 4 professionals. Myself, we have Plasta Moran, who takes care of the sanitation and is our technology guru. We have Sarah DeLujos, who is our child nutrition coordinator. She takes care of our menus, our daily records that let the cafeteria staff know what to make every day, and then our special dietary needs, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And Rachel Higgs, who basically is our buyer, she takes care of getting our things appropriately and following all the Texas Department of Agriculture rules while she does that, and make sure that she does follow all the Buy American evaluations that we have to do, and takes care of training those new employees that we bring on board. In our office, we have 3 great paraprofessionals. Anna is our face of child nutrition. Irma takes care of the back of the house. She processes all those free and reduced meal applications, takes care of getting our staff paid, and pays all of our bills. And Consuelo, some of you have met before, she is our vending and catering manager, and she bounces around to all 19 campuses wherever she's needed daily. Campus staff. At each of our 19 campuses, there is a state certified food service manager, which means they have completed a course and passed the Serve Safe test. And our campuses are staffed according to their meal participation. So You are staffed according to the number of kids that you feed. So the more kids you feed, the more staff you have in your kitchen. At the elementary schools, they usually have about 4, intermediate about 5, middle schools about 6, and both comprehensive high schools have a manager, an assistant manager, and 15 employees. All right, the programs that we run, what do we operate? Well, we operate the National School Breakfast Program and the National School Lunch Program each day. We continue with summer feeding at the campuses that are open over the summer and have a program running, along with taking food daily to the Lincoln Center for their summer program. We offer catering for district events and manage vending machines. All right, let's talk about that National School Breakfast and Lunch Program that we operate daily. On any given morning and at lunch, we are providing 3,100 breakfasts on average and 8,025 lunches each day. So we, in a total day, will ring up a little over 11,125 lunches. To give you the big picture of what we did last year, it was 466,000 plus on breakfast and 1.3 million lunches. Pre-COVID, you would think that we would ebb and flow. We have continued to climb. We took a small dip after everyone went up, everyone ate for free, we came down a little, but prior to COVID, we were right under the million mark. So we are continuing to climb and keep our audience. In addition to the kids that we feed every day, we have about 45 adults who do take part in buying our meals. And compared to this same time last year, our breakfast was about 146,000. Right now we're at 164. About an 18,000 increase. And I was like, what happened? Well, some of that is attributed to Consolidated High School moving their athletic period to first period. So we now have a second breakfast there that's allowing those kids to come eat. And the Texas Department of Agriculture has a grant this year where all reduced students are able to eat breakfast at no charge instead of the 30 cents. So they're sending us the 30 cents instead of the parents. And so that has increased that participation as well. And our lunches, we're right on the mark of where we were at this time last year. All right, so they are coming to eat, but how do we plan these menus to feed them? There are lots of requirements, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. The average daily calories must not exceed a maximum amount for whatever age group you're planning the menu for. 80% of the grains must be whole grains. So if they come home and they tell you that their buns are brown or their rolls are not white, that's where that's coming from. A variety of vegetable groups must be served. Yes, there are a legume, a dark green, and an orange. There's an other, and there's a starchy group, and we have to check off the box for those. If a child comes through at lunch, they must have a fruit or vegetable on their tray in addition to the other components, and a fruit at breakfast. Total fat must be less than 30% total from calories, and saturated fat less than 10, and the sodium has been significantly reduced in our meals. You can get an entire meal in child nutrition, and it's less than the amount of sodium in one fast food hamburger. All right, so how do we get them to eat what they like, but still meet all those requirements? There are healthier versions of children's favorite foods are developed for schools. Most of these items on our menu are low-fat, whole grain versions of what they're familiar with, but we bake and steam them instead of fry them. And our portion sizes are made to fit the age grade group that we're feeding and to provide a healthy diet. Meal service at a glance. So I tell you, we plan these menus and we have all this staff, but what are we doing every day? So on any given day, the first column will tell you the average daily breakfast that's served. The second one, the average daily lunches that are served. And then the next two columns tell you the participation. What percent of the kids in that campus are taking advantage of those meals? So as you can see at Consolidated High School, she's almost at 300 breakfast every day, and she is at 962 lunches. This does not include all the extra burgers, chicken nuggets, slices of pizza. This is just those meals that they are buying from us each day. And one of the things I wanted to point out is prior to COVID, Rock Prairie Elementary was in the 60 to 70 range for breakfast, and she's now at 171. And so those kids were able to take advantage of all of this, and they decided they really liked it. And so they're still coming. Smart snacks. So we do our meals, but we also sell snacks and drinks. And what does that entail? There's rules for that too, just like the meals. There's regulations for any food that is sold a la carte in the cafeteria, in the school stores, in the vending machines, and any fundraiser held during the school day. Well, what's the school day? The government says the school day is midnight till 30 minutes after the last bell. So everybody has to follow these rules if you are selling something to a student. And those rules consist of serving sizes, calories, sodium, fat, and sugar limits. Good news is that the Texas Department of Agriculture gives schools 6 Smart Snack exempt days where all rules are off and they can sell items to children. I'm not a fan of them, but I do accept these forms from the schools when they submit them to me to let me know that they are taking advantage of those exempt days. Children with special needs. So we feed 11,000 meals a day, but we take care of our kids that do have special needs because they can't eat everything that everyone else does. We require a physician's note, and the physician's note must state that they have a life-threatening food allergy or a disability, and that is a federal requirement for us to be able to change the menu. Currently, we have about 45 students on specialized menus, gluten-free, soy-free, egg-free, milk-free, and sometimes it's all of them together. But we tackle that, and we take care of them. A child nutrition dietitian works with the physician, the parents, the campus nurses, and our staff to make sure everyone's trained and ready to meet these students' needs. A day at a glance. So I told you we're making menus, we're feeding kids, how much staff we have, but let's look at our high school managers. I want you to see in a very brief form what her day looks like. 6 o'clock, she's getting there. She is preparing for the day, looking at what's going to happen. 7:45, they are opening the doors for their first breakfast. 8:25, they're shutting the doors. Then they're assessing their needs because on any given day, they change what they wanted from the day before that. 9 o'clock, we're opening it up again for second breakfast. 9:20, we're closing. Then we're getting ready for lunch, monitoring that food prep, and then prepping for the days to come. 11:05, we're opening for lunch. That manager is batch cooking everything in the back so it's hot and fresh, monitoring the lines, assisting with meal service. 1:05, they are closing down and say, whew, we made it again. End of the day duties comes next. She's receiving her orders into the inventory program. She's submitting orders that are to come, and she's completing her work schedule for the next day. And hopefully by 2:30, she's getting to walk out the door. All right. Free and reduced meal applications. This is a huge part of what we do, and we like to take care of our families the best we can and provide them all the information so they can take advantage of this program. Some children will qualify based on the SNAP program, which is food stamps. TANF, foster, homeless, they can all automatically qualify for free. At the beginning every month, we upload our database of enrollment for College Station ISD into the state database, and it matches kids that have qualified financially through a state program for food stamps or Medicaid. Those automatically are free. We don't need an application for them. Those benefits, a good part of them is that they can be extended to other people who live in their house. So if one of the kids download and they have 4 siblings, they all become free. If a student does not qualify through that direct cert, we can accept a household application, and if they meet the income limits, then they also can be considered free or reduced. And what does this information do? Well, of course, their meals become eligible for the free or reduced rate, but a lot of these percentages of free and reduced students is used for many state and federal programs, and it's how the district defines the economically disadvantaged students. It determines our state comp ed allotment. Families also get discounts in Kids Club, our summer school fees, our AP exams, and our college application fees. All right. Let's move on to budget. Last year, our budget was of about $9.2 million. And what do we do with this budget? Child Nutrition operates self-sufficiently on a nonprofit basis, and all our revenue goes back into the department. And that revenue supports our salaries and benefits, equipment, utilities, supplies, and our food and non-food. Our goal is to operate on our own with no local funds. Where does our revenue come from? 60% is from the federal money that we get for every free, reduced, or paid student, and I have those rates listed below. 32% is out of the parents' pockets. They send the money to pay for the meals, which is listed below of what we collect each time a reduced paid or non-student eats with us, and then all of those extras and drinks that the kids buy. 7% is interest and supply chain grants, and 1% is catering and vending. Expenditures, where did that revenue go? 52% goes to food. The last time I did this presentation, it was 48. So with your grocery bill, our grocery bill has also increased. 36% went to labor, salary and benefits, and 12% goes to all those other things, our cleaning, our paper supplies, our employee uniforms, training and equipment, and utility costs to the district. And child nutrition does take on replacing all of the old equipment with our revenue that is made. All right, food cost. I thought this would give y'all a little sticker shock, just like when you go to your grocery store. Anytime on an average that the grocery truck backs up to Consolidated High School on a Wednesday morning, her bill's gonna run about $12,000. College Station High School, $16,000. Produce is about $1,000. Milk, $2,000 for a weekly grocery bill total at Consolidated High School of almost $15,000 and $509,000 over the course of the year. If you add all that together for all 19 campuses, it's about $4.4 million. They eat a lot. All right, and then capital expenditures. These are our big purchases that we used our revenue for. We purchased 2 serving lines at A&M Consolidated Middle School. They're beautiful, they're shiny, and the kids were very excited about them. $127,000 plus came from child nutrition, in addition to $95,000 in bond funds. Cafeteria tables for Pebble Creek and Southwood Valley was a little over $35,000. Consuelo, our vending person, got a new ride for a Toyota Sienna van for $35,000, and we bought 2 steamers at Southwood Valley and South Knoll. All right. What are our challenges? Of course, staffing. It doesn't matter if it's child nutrition, it doesn't matter if it's your local restaurant, you're gonna find trouble staffing in food service. We currently have 6 full-time openings, 1 part-time openings. We have no floaters. We have no one to go out when somebody's sick. It is my professional people and myself in the office. The kids see us on the line, are you new? No, honey, I'm just here to make sure that you get fed. Balancing student preferences, healthy meals, federal requirements, and food costs. Feeding a large number of students in a very short amount of time while keeping that smile, forecasting the amount of food to prepare each day, and replacing aging equipment are all challenges for us daily. All right, any questions? Do you get a federal cost of living increase for the increase in food? Did the federal amounts go up? So the federal government does go up the reimbursement each year, and usually it's pennies, and it was a little bit more significant this year. So that did help us out. That's good. So, you didn't mention it as a challenge, but to me, one of the other things we talked about is making sure you're capturing all the kids who are, or could be eligible for the food, right? I mean, obviously, how has that gone over, especially post-COVID, and are there any ways we can make sure, what do you suggest? How to make sure we're capturing everybody? We do go send out information at the beginning of the school year. We send out information in September. Our point of sale program that holds all of the information for every child in the district. I'm able to email, hey, this is available, make sure that you're taking advantage. If a student is having trouble paying for their meals, the managers are calling them and we're sending home applications to try to capture them as well. And so we try to make every effort to catch those kids. I've been here for 23 years. When I started, we were in the low 30s and we're now in the 40%. So it seems like more people are taking advantage of the program, and our applications are a little bit higher post-COVID because they're like, oh, that was a really good thing. Let's see if we do qualify.
So do we have better participation now? I know in the past we've had a hard time, or the numbers drop whenever we get to like the high school. Are we seeing more consistency?
Yes. The numbers at our high school are far higher than they have been in a very long time. And so when I go into the kitchen, they're like, all they do is eat. And I'm like, that's a good thing, and so that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys do a great job. I have a hard time just managing my own family, getting them fed and stuff. So I think you guys are doing great. My kid is one of those that loved the free everything, and and so now she's like, I really like the food at school. I'm gonna eat at school.
Yes.
So,
Yes, it did wonders for us.
thank you for feeding my kid.
So you're welcome. We enjoy it.
The fries at the elementary school are smiley fries, right?
Yes.
So as if French fries weren't good enough, we got a nice smile on there too. Yeah, great job.
You really do a great job. We don't have to hear a lot of complaints about our food and nutrition, which is always nice. So
We take pride in what we do, and I have an amazing staff.
Thank you. We're glad to have you.
Do we still do chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, gravy on both in a roll?
We do. You just have to catch it on the right day.
That's great.
But it's low fat.
I bet
low
I'd lose
salt,
weight
whole
if I
grain.
ate at the school.
So, all right.
Wonderful. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Brings us to item J1, consideration to delegate contractual authority to obligate College Station ISD under Texas Education Code 11.1511C4 to the superintendent for the purpose of obligating the district under TEC 48.257 and TEC Chapter 49 subchapters A and D. The rules adopted by the Commissioner of Education is authorized under TEC 49.006, including the purchase of attendance credits for 23-24 school year. Nope, that's the second time I've had to read it in 3 months. Go ahead, Ms. Strauss.
Thank you, Mr. Horak. That was a pretty long-winded, and you may think you've seen this before, and you have. In August, this was actually presented to the board along with our budget, and through no fault of the Board of Trustees, there is some very specific language in the motion that TEA is looking for, and there was about 3 words that were missing on that. Again, no fault of the board. It was read exactly the way I had written it. So tonight I'm presenting that again. This has to do with the fact that College Station ISD is a Chapter 49 district, meaning we are classified as a property wealthy district and have the potential to be required to send some money back to the state. It all depends on our enrollment, our property values. So at this moment in the budget adoption process, we were not calculated to have to send in any recapture, but that still could happen. So because of that, we have chosen to purchase attendance credits. There's about 3 different options that we can do that. And there is some contracts and obligations that are required. So this particular item, the Board of Trustees would be delegating that authority to the superintendent on behalf of the trustees, and we will get that filed again.
I move that the Board of Trustees for the 2023-2024 school year delegate contractual authority to obligate the school district under Texas Education Code, TEC 11.1511C4, to the superintendent solely for the purpose of obligating the district under TEC 48.257 and TEC Chapter 49 subchapters A and D, and the rules adopted by the Commissioner of Education is authorized under TEC 49.006. This includes approval of the agreement for the purchase of attendance credits.
Second.
A motion by Dr. Payne, second by Mr. Hall, and Josh got to hear the motion again. Any concerns, questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Ms. Strauss. Brings us to item J2, consider approval of a resolution authorizing the 23 tax levy for College Station ISD.
Thank you, Dr. Harkrider and Mr. Horak. So College Station ISD contracts with Brazos County to send out our tax bills and collect for us. Because of that, our Board of Trustees needs to approve the tax levy that allows them to proceed with that. So this year, the tax levy for both debt service and the general fund was it's lower than that. It's $133,419,095. The amazing thing is that is about $15 million lower than last year, even with a record 19% increase in assessed values or taxable values. So one may ask, how can that happen? How can we have $15 million less in levy with that kind of growth? And there were several things that happened this year. First of all, the increase in the homestead exemption from $40,000 to $100,000 was implemented. We also have tax compression with a record almost 22-cent decline in our total tax rate. And then the third thing was Senate Bill 12 that was passed with the 2021 legislative session. It actually required that beginning in 2023, those taxpayers that had their taxes frozen, most of those reasons are because of the over 65, that the tax compression that our taxpayers have had the benefit of the last couple of years, that also needed to be applied by formula to those that were over 65 and had them frozen. And it was retroactive. So there's several years of tax compression that's being applied to that. So those three things combined resulted in a record 19% increase in values, but an actual decline in levy of $15 million. So with that, I will ask for your approval of a resolution that authorizes that particular levy.
I move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Hall, second by Ms. Nolan. Any further discussion or questions? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll bring us to item L1, consultation with outside legal counsel regarding litigation in cause number 21-003058-CV-85 Scott Nussbaum versus College Station ISD in the 85th Judicial Court, Brazos County, Texas, pursuant to the Texas Government Code, sections 551.071, 551.074, and 551.129. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you when we get back. If we don't, have a wonderful Thanksgiving break. All right, that'll bring us back to adjourning back from exec at 8:27. Adjourn.